I was going to say the right, but I'm not sure quite. You know, the KKK's official newspaper has supported Donald Trump for president. They just came out with their official endorsement. This is reported in the Washington Post. In fact, this is the second newspaper endorsement, as far as I can tell, that Donald Trump has gotten. And over at Raw Story, a fascinating article that, essentially the same thing. Militia groups prepare for armed revolt if Clinton wins. Quote, this is the last chance to save America from ruin. So my question is, what's the ruin? Carl Higbie's on the line with us, conservative and Trump supporter, founder and president of the George Washington Leadership Foundation, a former Navy SEAL and author of Enemies, Foreign and Domestic, a SEAL's Story. GWLeadershipFoundation.com is his website. You can tweet him at Carl Higbie, Higbie. Carl, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me again, Tom.
Say what? Say that again?
I said thanks for having me on again.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry, I need to get my earpiece in here a little tighter. So what is the ruin of our nation that that Donald Trump supporters are asserting is going to happen if Hillary Clinton becomes president? How do we get ruined?
I can start with the ruin of our health insurance. I mean, it's doubling in some places for your premiums and your deductibles. So there's a good start.
Well, how does Hillary Clinton getting now? I mean, what Hillary has said is if she's elected, she's going to add a public option to Obamacare, which means that young people like you, Carl, would be able to get the same program that I've got right now. I'm spending about $250 a month on Medicare, and I've had this problem with my back now for a few months, and I've seen 4 different doctors. I saw another one yesterday. I've had two MRIs and an X-ray. I never paid a deductible. I never paid a copay. I just gave them my Medicare number, and that was it. I mean, wouldn't you love to be able to have that kind of program? That's what Hillary Clinton is saying. If you want competition in the marketplace, let the for-profit insurance companies compete with Medicare.
Oh, sure. I'd love to have a program like that, but it's not sustainable. I mean, you look at why Obamacare premiums are spiking. It's simply because that you have that luxury and you have that ability to go and you see a doctor, but somebody has to pay for it.
I already paid for it, Carl. I've been paying for it with my payroll taxes since I was 14 years old. Medicare has, well, maybe it was a little after that. I'm not sure. I was 14 and 65. I'd have to go back and, well, yeah, I was. In any case. But, yeah, I've already paid for that. I mean, and everybody else should be able to buy into it. The reason that healthcare prices are going up, health insurance prices are going up in the United States so much more rapidly than they are anywhere else in the world is because we're not regulating healthcare. I mean, for example, California right now has a ballot initiative that says that when the state of California buys pharmaceuticals, the drug companies must sell them to California at the same price that they negotiated with the Veterans Administration. Now, clearly, they're not going to negotiate a price that's going to lose them money, but they're not going to make the kind of money they're making right now. I mean, we got this huge $600 billion a year subsidy to the to big pharma. The Republicans wrote into Medicare Part D. Billy Townsend did that and then went off to become the head of the lobbying group the next year. And you've got people like Stephen J. Hemsley, the CEO of United Healthcare, taking over $1 billion in compensation out of that company. That came out of your hide, Carl.
Well, the thing is, going back to the Medicare thing before that monologue, is that the money that you put into there has been spent elsewhere. So it's now being funded by me. Like, I'll never see that. I'll never see Social Security or Medicare or anything like that.
Sure you will.
At least not to the – nah, I don't think so, Tom.
Carl, it works in every other developed country in the world. What are you asserting that Americans are stupid?
No, actually, Gruber, the architect of Obamacare, did that.
No, Robert Ball was actually, Robert Ball was the head of Medicare. So you're saying that a system that works in every other country in the world, every other developed country in the world, can't work here because why?
If it works so well, then why are they coming to America to get their major surgeries?
They're not actually. More Americans, more.
They are.
No, it's simply not true. And more Americans are going outside the United States to get medical care, principally surgery in Thailand, dentistry in Mexico. But more Americans are leaving the United States to get health care than are people from other countries coming to the United States to get health care. It's a fact.
No, it's actually a fact that fundamentally dignitaries from other countries and high wealth people from other countries come here to get their Gucci health care.
So what you're saying is that we've got, and by the way, we're not unique in this. Switzerland has the same thing. You can buy high-end health insurance for wealthy people. Germany has it. You know, there are hospitals that cater to rich people. We've got those in the United States. So how does that help the average guy who can't afford, like, you know, the emir of Bahrain to take an entire floor of a hospital and you know, pay the $5 million a day for it? How does that help the average guy?
Well, that's exactly my point, is the average guy is not being helped by Obamacare, by the rising premiums, the rising deductibles. I mean, it's fact. I mean, you look across the country.
Well, then, as I said, Hillary Clinton wants to fix that. So I guess we're talking in circles. Give me another, you know, at least with regard to health care, another way, you know, if you're agreeing with the KKK, that a Trump victory will help America and a Hillary victory will ruin America. How is she going to ruin America?
Well, I think it's been very clear that, first off, Trump has denounced the KKK endorsements, but you've had KKK endorse Hillary as well. The fact is, Donald Trump is the only guy in this race who has created anything. I mean, you have Hillary Clinton has never created anything in her life. I would be shocked.
She created the Children's Health Insurance Program, among other things.
And look at the health insurance now.
And the Children's Health Insurance Program is providing health insurance to over 10 million children, you know, in the United States. Kids who are not, you know, who are healthy, who are not sick, who are getting health care as a result of Hillary Clinton's efforts. She's been involved in literally thousands of public policy decisions. And you know, I don't know if it's dozens or hundreds of pieces of legislation that have made law. Donald Trump has never done any of that. All he's done is you know, scam people for his own benefit. He refuses to pay his contractors. He sues people. I mean, you know, the guy's going to be in court in the next couple of weeks on a rape charge and on a fraud charge. That doesn't concern you?
Tom, first off, let's be clear here. Donald Trump doesn't scam people. I actually went and looked into these contracts, and a lot of these contracts that are in dispute where contractors say, oh, he didn't pay me. What happened was they had deadlines to meet, and I've dealt with contractors a great deal in my industry, and when they don't deliver on time what they say they're going to deliver, guess what? In that contract, you don't pay them a certain amount of that contract. So, yeah, of course. And this is why Donald Trump has been successful, is because he holds people accountable. He's not scamming them. He's doing it per a contract.
So all those people who went to Trump University who were told, if you'll just, you know, put $30,000 on your credit card, don't worry, you're going to make more than that once you graduate. And Donald Trump is personally going to enforce, you know, which is the basis of the lawsuit that's going to be heard in the next 4 weeks. Those people were really screwing Donald Trump, not the other way around.
Well, I think what you look at is the hundreds of positive reviews from Trump University, including many of the people that have now jumped in on this class action lawsuit, which have said, oh, yeah, you know, I was so happy, and they gave positive reviews years and years ago, but now because they have the opportunity to maybe get some money in their own pocket, they might be jumping on. I don't buy it, Tom.
Right. So you're down with Trump University too. Okay. Well, Carl, I'll leave you with the last word on that. Carl Higbie, a conservative and Trump supporter, founder and president of the George Washington Leadership Foundation, former Navy SEAL and author of Enemies, Foreign and Domestic, A SEAL's Story. GWLeadershipFoundation.com. You can tweet him at Carl, C-A-R-L, Higbie, H-I-G-B-I-E. Carl, thank you for dropping by.
Thank you, Tom.
Yep. Good talking with you. We'll be back.